mentioned that there was a dusting of snow here this afternoon, or actually here this morning, I should say. It feels like 23 degrees. Maybe creep up into the low 30s here this afternoon in Bloomington, Indiana. Got a little how do you do here after the opening kick. Little extracurricular.
Usually fair catches don't lead to scuffles, but some emotions riding high early. It looks like Thomas Allen Jr. finished off a little bit after the whistle. It looked like Javon Leak also hit somebody a little bit after the whistle. No call.
Well, Thomas Allen, of course, the son of head coach Tom Allen, who one of the emotional coaches here in the Big Ten. Kasim Hill is your starter at quarterback for Maryland, and there was the question of Ty Johnson. What would be his status here for Maryland? He's out there to start for the Terps. He missed last week because of a calf injury against Michigan State. And the first play, Hill is asked to pass. He was going for Tavon Jacobs. And Maryland has struggled in terms of effectiveness, in terms of throwing the football. Kasim Hill, really in his second season as a redshirt freshman, only played a few games last year. And you see his completion percentage, 9 touchdowns to 3 interceptions.
Not a bad touchdown interception ratio, 3-to-1. He's taking care of the football for the most part despite the incompletion percentage.
All that pre-snap movement and shifts is what Matt Canada's offense is known for. And this is an offense, as Johnson takes the first carry, this is an offense that has been on and off really the last couple of weeks. On against Illinois, over 700 yards total. And against Michigan State, really against one rush defenses, not only in the conference but in the country, they struggled offensively. And here on this first series, facing a 3rd and 6. Hill again back to throw, and pass is complete to Jay-Sean Jones. It'll be a first down here for Maryland. So up against it on 3rd down, and they convert.
That's what they need Kasim Hill to do on 3rd down and 7. When they can't run the ball or give it to one of their athletes in the backfield, he's got to be able to run that route, Jay-Sean Jones, and complete the pass to Jones for a first down to keep the drive alive. Now they're going to come back with a run play. McFarland in the backfield, and they like to get him going early.
Yeah, we will see 4 backs out there. We saw Johnson to start the game. You mentioned McFarland is now in. He'll take the handoff. Speed and explosiveness down the sideline to about the 30-yard line, just short of that. Raheem Lane with the missed tackle, a gain of 24. Auto Owners Insurance impact players, Jay, when Maryland has the football.
Well, Anthony McFarland, we just saw him in Y. The burst to get to the edge. Tavon Jacobs, the senior leader at the receiving core, and a pair of safeties. Jonathan Crawford made a lot of plays. Hoosier fans know him well over his 4 years here in Bloomington. But Bryant Fitzgerald, according to head coach Tom Allen, one of the best players in the whole state of Indiana as a recruit. He's been a freshman that's popped on film.
Okonkwo that time in motion. And the handoff again to Ty Johnson. The only game that he had missed, again, last week was the Michigan State game. It was a game-time decision to see how he warmed up. We were kind of uncertain, even with the cold weather, how he'd be.
Right, look at that hole right there. So far, so good for the Maryland offensive line, creating lots of gaping holes. If they can run the ball, they are tough to beat.
Jay-Sean Jones that time in motion. And the handoff to Johnson right up the gut for a big gain and across the 10-yard line. It's Jonathan Crawford making the tackle. A gain of 15 and another Maryland first down.
Just really tests you to be disciplined. They run the motion to get the eyes going. You can see lots of blockers coming back and forth, and he's just going to hit it right up the gut And that's what they're going to do. They're going to move people across your eyes, motion. They're going to pull people. That's going to mess with the linebacker's eyes, and they're going to run right at you with Ty Johnson. You got to be secure on the edge. You got to be secure up the middle, and you have to play disciplined football because these running backs, you can't arm tackle them. And this offensive line is experienced.
Jones again in motion. And Kasim Hill tripped up. The turf monster got him, but a flag on the play over on the far side at about the 5-yard line.
Offense, number 9, 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's Jarvis Davenport for Maryland, one of the wide receivers. And again, all that pre-snap motion that you'll see here in this Matt Canada offense.
Well, that's actually a break for the Terrapins.
I want to remind you that if you're looking for the Illinois-Nebraska game, go to btn.com/gamefinder right now to see where you can find the game in your area. A busy noon window and a busy 3:30 window here today in the Big Ten. And a quick handoff to Brian Cobbs, and the play is made by Gavin Everett. They call him gritty there on the defensive end.
We asked Tom Allen about this play. How do you stop the jet sweep which attacks? And watch Gavin Everett just shoot straight up the field. They knew that that was going to be a critical way that they were going to be attacked. They saw Iowa shoot their defensive linemen straight up the field. It stopped the jet sweep. That's exactly what Gavin Everett did on the first time we've seen it today.
2nd and long now. Sets up a 2nd and 18 here for Maryland. In this series, they have moved up and down the field, have converted on a 3rd down play. The pass is complete to Jones. And Jonathan Crawford again making the play. You asked this Matt Canada about his offense. The goal is to get the cleats out of the dirt, he says, for the defense. Wants to keep them guessing. On the other side, Tom Allen has said the least amount of time that you move, that plays against to what Maryland wants offensively.
And he said it's a simple offense. And even Matt Canada said we're a simple offense, but they motion and shift enough where it's difficult to pick up on exactly what are they doing.
Here's 3rd and 12 for Maryland. Hill back to throw, has some time. Will loft it up to the end zone. And it was intended for his tight end, Chigokonkwo.
He had Chigozimo Okonkwo open early, wasn't able to throw the football on time. By the time he was able to set his feet again and toss the ball, Okonkwo was covered. Good red zone stop. That
was the redshirt sophomore Jerome Johnson applying the quarterback pressure. And so Joseph Petrino will get his first attempt, his longest this year, a 40-yarder. This is a 29-yard attempt. Kick is up, off the post, and good. That's how you get a little bit of an assist. Outside the lines, didn't you?
Absolutely.
Mike Majette back to field the kick for Indiana across the 30 and across the 35. And a good start here for this Indiana Hoosier offense. Our Auto Owners Insurance Impact players. We've talked about Stevie Scott. Tell me about Donovan Hale.
Donovan Hale is a big target out in the open. A guy they didn't know how much he was actually going to be able to produce this year, but he's produced a ton. Antoine Brooks Jr., half linebacker, half safety. He's a nickelback. They list him as a cornerback. He can do a lot, can tackle in space well. And Darnell Savage Jr., probably the defensive MVP according to Matt Canada for this season.
And a part of the all-name team, too. Indiana will start this drive on the 38 at their 25-yard return. Peyton Ramsey starting at quarterback. Stevie Scott in the backfield for Indiana. And the thing about Ramsey in this bye week for Indiana, he took a lot of rest time. And the pass complete to Peyton Hendershot, who gets the start at tight end. We very well could see Ryan Watercutter, who made his debut in the season last week against Minnesota, but Hendershot getting the start here today for Indiana.
And on 3rd down, they like to use a lot of 4 wide receiver sets, so Hendershot hasn't gotten the reps that he usually gets. Comes out of the game after a nice catch.
And your backup quarterback right now, Reese Taylor, is the one who is in the backfield, number 2. Lining up right alongside Peyton Ramsey, who's forced to get chased out of bounds. That was Adam McLean doing it.
Ramsey had Ja'Shawn Harris right in the middle of the field, open for a first down pitch and catch. But the pressure made him move his feet, scramble out to the outside from McLean. A quick 3 and out. Downside of going high tempo, Lisa, he only on the field for 30 seconds.
It was a quick series for this Indiana offense. Tavon Jacobs back to field, the punt from Hayden Whitehead. And Jacobs will let it bounce and roll across the 15, almost to about the 8-yard line. So it takes an Indiana roll. Maryland will get its second series here coming up. A win today, and Maryland becomes bowl eligible, and Matt Canada doesn't want to say it, but we can, and the fact that they have 2 ranked opponents after this game, so that makes this Indiana game all that more important for them.
Especially how you look how they play against unranked opponents to ranked opponents. I mean, usually they have the explosive plays. They got to win this Indiana game. We got Ohio State and Penn State. And when you look at Indiana, this is a must-win too. Michigan's playing as good a football as anybody in the country right now. And then there's the bucket game, which Purdue vastly improved.
It came down to bowl eligibility last year in that bucket game between Indiana and Purdue, and the Hoosiers fell short. Handoff to Anthony McFarland on that play. You know, last year, Tom Allen did not address the whole bowl eligibility with his team. This year, he decided a different approach. He started the narrative after they lost to Minnesota. It was a heartbreaking loss. Lost that game after an incredible comeback, scoring 22 unanswered points. Lost it in the last 2 minutes of that game, and he even said, if we had won that game, I might not have even addressed bowl eligibility, but I want my players to appreciate the value of getting to a bowl game and the importance and not take it for granted. McFarland again getting the carry and picking up a Maryland first down. Johnny Jordan at center right now for Maryland in place of Brendan Moore with the key block there on that play and a gain of 12.
McFarland so explosive from the time he gets the ball to the time he gets the line of scrimmage. You take a look at Jordan and Brendan Moore and Sean Christie, really the heart of that offensive line. They got the 2 towers on the left and right with Derwin Gray at the tackle and Damian Prince. This is an experienced offensive line. That's why these running backs always have room to run.
It's Jones again who takes the handoff off of the jet sweep. And number 6 has been motioned a couple of times, that time back-to-back first down plays here for this Maryland offense.
Well, there we saw the same play that Gavin Everett blew up last series. The defensive end, you'll see 99 in no man's land. Alan Stallings, right? Shuffle squeeze is what you're taught to do. If the block goes away from me, shuffle, but you're in no man's land. He's got to go straight up the field and tackle, just like Gavin Everett did on the previous play. If you don't do that, Ja'Shawn Jones is going to run right by you.
Oh, flags all over. A couple of them on the field.
False start. Offense. Number 58. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's your right tackle, Damian Prince. And this is a highly penalized Maryland team.
You'll see him at the top of your screen. He just jumps a bit. Him and Avery Edwards on the edge. Easy call. And usually for run teams, when you get a penalty like this and you struggle throwing the ball, it's tough to get those yards back. But Maryland's so explosive, they're able to make it up and still run the football and get the first down.
Most penalized team there in the Big Ten. Sets up a 1st and 15. McFarland again. Alan Stallings making the tackle. A defensive tackle there for Indiana, a junior. Talk about explosive inside and outside. You've got Johnson inside. You've got Stallings as well. Impressed with the way those guys have been able to perform defensively for Indiana.
Indiana's thin in the front 7. It's an area they know they've had to rebuild over the last couple of years. Experienced defense last year, but had no depth. Now they're very young in the front 7.
From the 45, Hill keeps it. Looking deep downfield for his receiver, off a couple of defenders. Was intended for Daryl Jones. Jonathan Crawford with the tip. He's got 9 career interceptions and nearly had number 10.
Yeah, and Crawford and Fitzgerald were all over this. Double coverage, not a smart throw at all for Kasim Hill. And it looked like it would have been picked off, but hit the hands of the receiver right before it hit Crawford's hands, and that's hard. Hard to catch a ball like that. Now you have a 3rd and long situation for Kasim Hill. Last time he looked for Jay-Sean Jones.
And a whistle before the snap.
Charge timeout. Maryland, they're first.
Matt Canada wants to talk about it in 3rd and 9, so we will take a timeout as well.
Look what they did last week against MSU. Total offense, 100 yards. Look at that in the first 9.5 minutes. 103 yards, 87 of which are running the football.
What did they come out with out of this timeout on a 3rd and 9 situation? They're going to pass it. Hill has to scramble, being pressured, and a tough catch is made, and the pass is complete to Jay-Sean Jones. What a catch for a first down, even in the face. TD Roof was providing all kinds of pressure.
Look at this hit that Kasim Hill takes by TD Roof and throws it up like a prayer over Raheem Lane's head. Just lands in the arms of Jay-Sean Jones. This is a dangerous throw. You can see Jones working to get open with the one-hand grab. Impressive play by Jones, dangerous throw by Hill. End result, first down Terps.
And a gain of 20. So a couple of key 3rd down conversions in this first quarter for Maryland. Hill, the handoff to Johnson. Looking for any kind of room. And Johnny Jordan, another key block. Brendan Moore, the starting center usually for Maryland, has moved over to the right guard position. It's Terrence Davis who is not playing right now for the Terps.
If you ever have this alignment with the boundary and the field at the top of the screen, got to watch out for jet sweeps.
Jacobs in motion, the handoff to McFarland. Look out, he's got the edge and pushed out just about at the 10-yard line.
Straight ability run, cuts back against the grain, the play's made to go front side, able to cut back and has the burst to get to the edge. Watch this burst right here, and just breaks away from the defensive back on the backside, able to get the edge.
A gain of 19, it was Khalil Bryant who couldn't quite make the play for Indiana. And again, the run game so important here on this series for Maryland. The Terps have scored on all red zone attempts this year. One of 2 teams in the country to brag about that. Hill rolling out. Looking to throw for the end zone. The pass was intended for Jacobs.
You can really see Kasim Hill's looking to throw first and then run the football. He took a little bit of shot. Looks like he's a little shooken up. At least Bill Gazer walks back to the huddle. But he had a lot of green grass in front of him, Lisa. He could have easily picked up 4 or 5 yards, if not a touchdown. And Kasim Hill's a big body guy. He's not easy to tackle in the open space. He puts his shoulders down.
Unfamiliar with the Maryland quarterback story. Both of their quarterbacks, Kasim Hill and the backup Terrell Pigram, been dealing with ACL injuries last year. The question is, how healthy have they been this season? Handoff to McFarland. Indiana read it all the way. Again, Roof making the play. Roof, by the way, getting the start. There's a flag on the field, but Roof getting the start. Raekwon Jones is out with an injury in this game for Indiana.
There is no foul on the play for a hold. It'll be 3rd down. 3rd down.
So hard to have a consistent winner when you can't keep your quarterback healthy.
Maryland 2 of 3 on 3rd downs. What can they do here? Hill, with some time, decides not to run it, and he overshoots his receiver, Brian Cobbs, And again, it looked like he might have had an open lane to the end zone.
He's definitely not looking to run the football. I don't know if that's the hesitancy because of the injury last year, but 2 times he could have run the football. There's actually pressure. He steps up in the pocket. He's got Cobbs open. He just airmails it. Just a totally inaccurate throw. And for as many yards as they've got, to only have 6 points if they complete this field goal, huge win for Indiana's defense.
Last attempt, Petrino got an assist on the goalpost. That was a 29-yarder. This one is a 31-yard attempt. Petrino looking to go 2 for 2, and he does on the afternoon. And a special teams kind of first quarter here for Maryland as they take the 6-0 edge. 34 yards, about 5 minutes and 39 seconds in that last drive. And look at the time of possession war between these two teams. Domination.
You get the kickoff, you march down the field, and you only have 3 plays for Indiana, minute 36. The downside of a hurry-up offense, but only 6 points.
Petrino with the low kick. Fielded on the play across the 30 here for Indiana. That's Ricky Brookins, one of the backup running backs for the Hoosiers. So only 1 series here so far for Peyton Ramsey and this Indiana offense after the return of 16.
Critical to get a first down here, at least 1. Give your defense, which is young, which lacks depth, a little bit of time to get their breath, make some adjustments. Look for a heavy dose of Stevie Scott.
Scott in the backfield. Ramsey. Pass connects to Nick Westbrook. The tackle is made by Rayvon Davis. There you got your first down, Jay Lehman. I was going to say that is part of the concern with a quick pace and a fast-paced offense is when you get a quick 3 and out, that puts it up against it with the defense. Ramsey this time going deep downfield, and it was off the hands of Donovan Hale. Wanted a flag. This crowd wanted a flag. There is no laundry on the field.
Last 2 plays we've seen the RPO. See Tino Ellis on this coverage. Donovan Hale comes back to the back shoulder fade, and he can make this. Usually a catch that Donovan Hale's made all year long. Pushed off a little bit on Tino Ellis, no call.
Hale leading the team in terms of touchdowns this year. 5 of them this season. And the story with the wide receiver balance for Indiana, you got 5 major categories. 5 different receivers lead those categories. Hale with the 5 touchdowns. You got Harris with 33 catches. Westbrook leads them in reception yards. They got a lot of different choices out there.
It's really a product of Peyton Ramsey reading what the defense is giving him and taking that and not zeroing in on 1 receiver.
This time it's Majette in the backfield. Ramsey stepping up, trying to get out of pressure, floats it off the hands, nearly picked off by Deion Jones. The pass intended for Ja'Shawn Harris.
No, Peyton Ramsey, again, has Harris early. Watch, he'll come into your center of your screen right here. He has Harris now. He's open and waits a little bit until Harris gets closer to defenders, and then he's not accurate with it. Watch Harris right there, takes a couple more steps and goes closer to defenders. He's got to hit Harris on the hash. That's the 2nd series in a row he's missed Harris in a critical 3rd down.
Baby steps, though, on that series, at least for Indiana, picking up a first down. Their first here of this game, of this quarter. With under 2 minutes to play, Tavon Jacobs fielding the punt.
You know, they picked up a first down, but they only took off about 1:09 of game clock. And, you know, they ran RPO the first 2 plays of that series. That's the run-pass option. They elected to throw the football both times. Really couldn't get Stevie Scott going, so Maryland's going to take over the ball.
A 34-yard punt puts the ball on the 23. And with all this success with the run game for Maryland, wouldn't you just keep going with that and not ask Hill to throw it?
Well, it seems like what stole him is them trying to throw the football or a penalty. I think if they can just not have penalties and run the football, they'll be hard to stop.
Jones again in motion. This play has worked. Only a gain of a few yards on that. Ja'Shawn Jones, who has accounted for about 6 touchdowns, either passing, catching, or running it this year. One of the freshmen here from Maryland.
Watch 69, Gavin Everett come straight up the field. See how he's able to make Ja'Shawn Jones go and cut back instead of letting Jones get the edge? That was a key adjustment defensively. We talked to Tom Allen about that. Everett's already made one tackle for loss, made the play there. Allen Stallings did not do that, and it was a big gain for Jones. You can see the chess match going on. That's why they moved that motion guy back and forth, because it changes which defensive end has to stunt and is in charge of that.
Hill with the handoff to Johnson again, who has gotten some considerable work after, again, being injured last week. Ty Johnson had to leave the Illinois game with that calf strain.
Matt Canada, because he employs the jet sweep, he also loves to run the football up into the middle of the defense. He can have 2 or 3 of those guys on the field at the same time. I got Javon Leak in the game. He had a big game 2 weeks ago against Illinois.
Maryland's already converted on a couple third downs in this quarter. And they find McFarland, who again has had some success kind of cutting that edge.
We talked about this exact play in the open. They're going to have a tight formation that makes the defense be tight. And then they're going to pull out the bottom 2 offensive linemen are going to block out, and McFarland's going to get to the edge, and he has the speed to do that. We saw that earlier. Same type of formation here. It condenses the defense. You can see Indiana's adjusted. It has wider defenders now.
And off to Tayon Fleet Davis, who is our 3rd running back that we've seen here for Maryland. A homecoming for Matt Canada, grew up in the state of Indiana. He is a Hoosier grad, the class of 1993. He never played here, but he was a graduate assistant, and he credits Bill Mallory actually for the reason why he was coaching. Jerry DiNardo later hired him back as his quarterbacks coach. He worked for Terry Hepner as well, and then was promoted to be the offensive coordinator under Bill Lynch.
A lot of good mentors right there. You can see why he's done a tremendous job as the interim head coach at Maryland.
Off to McFarland. Runs right into an Indiana defensive wall. You talk to Matt Canada, and he has about maybe 30 family members and friends, even some high school teammates. Again, he grew up in New Palestine, about 60 miles southwest of Bloomington. And he knew that there would be a lot of central Indiana folks, maybe just wearing some Maryland gear here today, although he's been asked about it all week. And he says, it's not about me coming home, it's about these players and what they've accomplished this year. Hill with some time to throw, and again he overshoots Dante Demas. He has just not been on target as Maryland again asks him to throw the football.
He's inaccurate. And it starts with your feet. Are your feet accurate? He did take a hit on that again. He's been taking hits all day, but he has not been accurate as far as hitting receivers in stride, hitting the numbers, missed a touchdown pass earlier to Cobbs, misses Demas there on a critical 3rd down.
But this is the first punt of the game here for Maryland. Wade Lees is out there, and one of the most dangerous punt returners, Jay Sean Harris, back to receive for Indiana. 3 punt return touchdowns in his career. This one will not be one as it rolls, and a really, really good punt inside the 10-yard line there for Wade Lees. Heps Rock is part of the legacy of Terry Hepner, and Matt Canada is one of his mentors, the late Terry Hepner. Taught him it's okay to have a little fun coaching football and playing football. First play out of the first series here for Indiana. Pass is complete to Ty Fry Fogel. Tino Ellis making the play defensively, a gain of 9.
Yeah, Fry Fogel's a guy that's improved vastly since the beginning of the season, and Maryland's not lined up. They better get lined up. Indiana loves to go fast.
Stevie Scott takes the handoff. Antoine Brooks and Trey Watson there. Talk about a couple of defensive players who've been so key for Maryland.
Yeah, Watson, the transfer from Illinois. Physical player, intense player, good leader for this team. And Antoine Brooks, the guy, offensive coordinator Mike DeBoard for Indiana, said he is all over the place, plays like a linebacker.
Their nickel back for Maryland. Again, it's Scott. And it's Watson making the tackle. Over 90 tackles this year. You mentioned it for the transfer out of Illinois. Is a senior this year. One of 2 linebackers, by the way, in the country with 4 picks this season.
Love to hit these crossing routes on the 3rd down.
Ramsey floating it high, going deep, and the pass connect with Freifogel. Ty Freifogel making the play on the outside for Indiana.
Yeah, so Peyton Ramsey had Freifogel down the edge against Tino Ellis, but he also had Luke Timian on the drive route, which would have been an easier pitch and catch, but went for a bigger play and got it to Freifogel.
Most production by far, and off the hands, though, of Hendershot.
He's got Timian right now for the 1st down, but decides to take a shot on Tino Ellis. That seems to be the guy they've been targeting. Freifogel puts it right in the breadbasket. They've been targeting Tino Ellis all day on the deep ball rather than Rayvon Davis.
Ramsey on the keep. Ramsey cutting it back. Look out, Peyton Ramsey eyeing end zone. Indiana's got a touchdown. 35 yards. DTN standout presented by Auto Owners Insurance.
How about the okey doke by Peyton Ramsey? Not 1, not 2, but 3 defenders. Showing some running back-like moves for Peyton Ramsey.
And Logan Justice makes good on the extra point, and just like that, Jay Lehman, Indiana's got the lead.
Breaking ankles, making hips move, people doing splits. End zone, Peyton Ramsey. Hoosiers take the lead.
Peyton Ramsey making not 1, not 2, but 3 guys miss on that touchdown run.
Just special. Watch Peyton Ramsey here. Byron Carr has him dead to rights, does the splits. That's 1. Watch him make Isaiah Davis move. Ankles, gone. The foxtrot on Trey Watson, and he's out the gate. 3 defenders, 3 of their best defenders. They're 2 inside linebackers, and Byron Carr, their defensive end. Some moves for Peyton Ramsey. We know he's a mobile quarterback. I didn't know that kind of juke in him now.
How about that series where there were 6 plays for 90 yards, and you go back to the first 7 plays. They only gained 12 yards in the first 7 plays in this game. That is how quickly a football game can change. Fair catch call is made.
Lots of skirmishes around fair catches today. This is the second get together we've had at the 35-yard line.
We had one in the opening kick too. The stakes are high for these 2 teams. They know that bowl eligibility is out there to get, out there to chase. Maryland needs 1 win to get there. Indiana needs to win 2 of its next 3 in the final 3 weeks of the regular season. Anthony McFarland in the backfield for Maryland. We still have yet to see Ty Johnson after he was helped off the field with an injury. Went into the medical tent, by the way. Pass is deflected, nearly picked off. Jalen Williams trying to make the play for an IU defense that already has 10 picks this year.
Yeah, battling. So Jones slipped a little bit, and Williams gets his hands in there, and Marcelino Ball just hustling to the football, almost gets a pick as the ball's just up in the air for grabs. It's a live ball. Nobody's able to come up with it.
And again, Maryland has not had success throwing the football. And their main target has been number 6, Jayshon Jones. And the hands off to McFarland. They label as their dynamic runner. A redshirt freshman had offers from Alabama, Miami, Penn State, Georgia.
He's out of DeMatha Catholic. So many good players come out of DeMatha in that Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia area. Well coached, able to play early when they come. You can see 9 rushes for 80 yards, living up to the billing thus far.
He's got 3 100-yard rush games. The next one would set a Maryland freshman record for 100-yard rush games in a single season. That to get there before halftime.
Jay-Sean Jones, bottom of your screen. Watch for him.
Hill out to throw and connects with Jones as Andre Brown pushes him out of bounds, but it's another Maryland first down. And that has been the way this first half has gone.
When you line up Jay-Sean Jones into the boundary, I mean, it's an easier throw for the quarterback to get him the ball on third down. It's got to be an alert for that defense that wants to go. Hill has not been accurate on his throws. So you got to make shorter throws, which you got to throw into the boundary, not into the field. Able to convert on that third down and a fresh set of downs.
Okonkwo in motion. And just a dead duck kind of throw, and it's intercepted by Indiana. Jalen Williams had all day to just sit and try to pick that one off.
It looked like he had Dante Demas wide open. If he leads him another 15 yards, not 5 yards, 15 yards, you talk about a duck that was quacking, it was severely underthrown, and the wind isn't even that bad, Lisa. This is just a bad ball by Kasim Hill. Credit to Ken on the play call. This play is open, and just Demas has no chance even to come back for the ball. It's a double move, and while he got beat bad, but he's able to recover Williams and make the play. Turnover, Hoosiers.
Indiana looking to build off of that scoring drive. The last time this offense was out on the field, a crossing pattern, pass connects to Jay-Sean Harris for his first catch. Jay-Sean Harris, career high year. There's a look at Kasim Hill. The one pick, 4 of 12 passing. Scott has a first down for Indiana.
Stevie Scott's got some power, 236 pounds. They're really keen in on him, and I think that's why Peyton Ramsey was able to run the football for a big gain on the zone read play.
Ramsey again going deep downfield, and there's a flag on the play, a pass interference. Rashad Lewis covering Ty Fry-Fogel.
Pass interference, defense number 14. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
This is the confidence that Ramsey has in Fry-Fogel. Look at the coverage here by Lewis, jams him. He's running step for step with him the whole way, but he never turns his eyes around to find the football and then makes contact before the ball gets there. Again, I am surprised that Ramsey threw that football as close as Lewis had on his coverage. Ramsey has got faith. Fry-Fogel will come down with it, drew the penalty.
Ronnie Walker is in for the first time in the backfield for Indiana. As Harris is on the move, they fake it to Walker. Ramsey's going to go deep and throw it. Pass is complete, touchdown. Donovan Hill, his 6th of the year.
Hale uses his body so good here. Watch Ramsey throw a decent, great deep ball. Watch Hale just kind of push off just a little bit, and the hand warmer even fell off. And Ramsey, he's on fire. Running the ball, throwing the ball, the tale of 2 quarters. The first and the second have been totally different.
37 yards to Pater. A couple of touchdowns in the last 2 series.
A lot of running backs. You have a lot of different quarterback, running back exchanges. Take a look right here. And, you know, it looked like Kasim Hill had trouble reaching far enough to get it all the way to Tayon Fleet Davis. He's really stretching, and you can see the left hand kind of come down before it gets into the belly of Fleet Davis. Got to make sure that ball gets into the belly. Probably a little bit on both right there. The ball just squirted out. Jerome Johnson picked it up.
Ramsey looking across, a crossing pattern for Donovan Hale. This Indiana defense, one of the best in terms of taking away teams, turning over teams. They had 4 takeaways in their last game against Minnesota. This Indiana offense looking to take advantage of that fumble recovery. Pass is complete to Luke Timian.
This offense is in rhythm right now. He came out with the RPO and ran the route, ran the quick slant to Hale, then they come back with Timian on the out route.
Ramsey reading it, and the tip pass is made by Rayvon Davis. What a defensive play there by Davis to save a touchdown.
Slants and go routes for Donovan Hale. Such a big body. Let's see where the tip's at right here. Ramsey knows where he wants to go with the football, and just at the last second, looked like Davis got a hand on, makes it tough to catch the football.
Hand off to Scott. What has clicked with this Indiana offense?
They've got their rhythm going. You know, they haven't. The success on first down leads to the high tempo. When they get another first down, they're going fast. And quite frankly, Ramsey's been incredibly accurate. Kind of sparked this offense with that running touchdown early in the second quarter. He's just been accurate with the ball, and they've been moving the chains.
Maryland's dominated on the ground. Indiana now dominating through the air. Ramsey again looking to his left, again Hale's way, and there's a flag. Contact made, a physical play with Davis. And again trying to target Donovan Hale.
And whenever you see Donovan Hale lined up into the boundary, one-on-one coverage, he's their jump ball guy.
Pass interference, defense number 2. Penalty occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. First down.
Watch Hale uses his body. He's going to go up for the ball. Now he just gets tackled by Davis. See the bottom of the screen right here. Throws him down. Easy call, I think, for the official there.
This is the value of having a 236-pound running back right there. Stevie Scott, the freshman, for his first score of the afternoon.
Talk about capitalizing off of turnovers, off of penalties. All been self-inflicted wounds for the Terrapins, and Indiana has taken advantage.
Extra point is good for Logan Justice, but it was tipped. Hoosier fans are happy. Look at what they've been able to do in the second quarter. You talk about what a difference a couple of quarters have made. Maryland had a 6-0 edge and then 21 unanswered points here for Indiana.
And really inability to finish in the red zone for the Terps. It could easily be 14-21, but the turnovers are the story. When you turn the football over, you give chance to a team that was struggling in the first quarter. Now they look like world beaters in the second quarter. Indiana's got to feel really good about where they're at right now.
Well, Javon Leake is back to receive from Maryland, but Indiana really hasn't given them anything to look at. They're going to go away from him again on this kick. Right at the 20-yard line, but it was a fair catch play. Tonight on BTN, Big Ten basketball comes your way as Player of the Year contender. Carson Edwards leads Purdue against Ball State. Big Ten basketball, that's tonight at 8 Eastern right here on BTN and, of course, the Fox Sports app. Indiana basketball with a nice win last night for the Hoosiers. They're awfully excited about the youth on that team. Romeo Langford, a couple of spectacular dunks for 12 points.
Scored over 3,000 points in Indiana high school basketball. The guy's a baller.
You did your research, football analyst.
I'm a basketball fan.
On your short pants, guys.
State did not stand a chance last night.
Victory over Montana State. You know, Mike Hall in the studio last night said that if Indiana didn't score a point in the second half, they still would have won. Hand off to Jones. Not sure how much you trust Mike Hall's math.
Mike's a sharp guy. Coming back with the jet sweep right there. You saw Niall Sykes come up the field, almost make the play on Jones, but did enough to deter him that it was a minimal gain.
Total yards in the second quarter, 25 for Maryland and almost 170 for Indiana. So there's got to be some sort of bounce back here for this Maryland offense. Hill again will keep it. Look to throw it, and he's taken down there in the backfield. Cam Jones all over it. Pigram's first snap, they're going to ask him to throw it. How about that call? Pigram staying on his feet, getting chased, and Pigram just like that creating something out of nothing.
Yeah, and there was a big hit near the end of that play by Dante Demas. He came to blindside block as Pigram was going out of bounds, and Tom Allen wanted a call. You can see they're picking up Jonathan Crawford off the side, shaking up a bit. You can see him walking off, and I think Tom Allen wanted some kind of penalty flag as he's talking to the official right now. Demas came out of nowhere late. You're gonna see Demas come into your screen right here. A blindside shot on Jonathan Crawford. And it's a blow to the head as well. You could say shoulder to shoulder. His helmet also hits he runs into TD Roof. Jonathan Crawford's body does, and Tom Allen's not happy about that, and it wasn't the cleanest of plays, that's for sure.
Another unbalanced line for Maryland. Handoff to McFarland. We'll check in with our rules analyst for the first time, Dick Honig. What did you see on that play?
Shoulder to shoulder. It's a blindside block, but it's got to be high if it's going to be a blindside block, and I think it's shoulder to shoulder.
What about the play being almost over? He's out of bounds. It's almost simultaneous. What do you think about that?
Jay, that's a really good point, actually. Is the play over, and is it more than you need after the play has gone out of bounds? The question is, it's tough to determine when you're out of bounds, too.
Thanks, Dick.
Pigram will throw it. Pass to his tight end, Okonkwo. And so they're not shy to ask for Pigram to go in the air here in this first series.
Let's remember now, Pigram did win the starting job. Week 1 against Texas last year, winning to Texas that hung 51, hung half 100 on the horns before he got hurt.
Also started some 2016, in addition to what you're mentioning last year, getting the start in the opener. Now another third down situation here for the Terps. McFarland has a first down and a little bit of more. Spins out of trouble down the sideline. TD Roof missing the tackle on that play. McFarland again showing his dynamic running ability for a gain of 29.
Well, he runs hard. Look at him break through the arm tackle of Damian Willis. You can see Thomas Allen also. TD Roof misses him, and he's got the speed to get to the edge and get that yards after contact. I really like this McFarland guy. A lot of schools did like McFarland. Alabama, like you said, like McFarland. The guy has a burst to him that you just don't see.
And he's over 100 yards. Handed off to McFarland again. That Husker offense, I don't care who you're up against, they can put up some points and put up some yardage. Did even last week against Ohio State. Here in Bloomington, we got a flag on the last play.
After the play's over, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 95. Penalties a half the distance to the goal, automatic first down. This number 95's first unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
That is Brandon Wilson. Look at his right hand. He tries to shrug off the official.
That's a zero tolerance area. Anytime you look by an official, might not look like much, but anytime an official's around you, Can't have hands on it, on him. Can't do movements like that.
1st and 10, the ball is on the 13 for Maryland. Hill with a handoff to Jones on the jet sweep. Inside the 10 for Maryland, Roof making the play.
I think Pigram's added a spark to this offense. Kind of slow moving, and now they run a little jet sweep to Jay-Sean Jones, and Pigram providing a spark here inside the red zone. 2nd and 3, big time chance to score.
High snap, Pigram handles it though, and inside the 5-yard line.
Well, Pigram was supposed to hand the ball off to Jay-Sean Jones. Because of the high snap, he's unable to hand the ball off, but he has the wherewithal just to run forward. He's supposed to hand the ball. If you see the pull right there by Brendan Moore, it's the same play they ran before, just the opposite direction. Pigram able to pick up the 1st down.
And remember, Johnny Jordan is now playing center for Maryland. Brendan Moore has moved over to the right guard position with Terrence Davis being out.
Charge timeout, Indiana, their first. So it'll be a 30-second timeout.
A timeout here for Indiana. We got a 1st and goal situation here for Maryland.
Watch out for McFarland. He's the wing on the bottom of the screen. They love to get on the jet sweep in this formation.
Tayon Fleet Davis in the backfield. They hand it to number 8. Maryland has its first touchdown.
So Matt Canada showed that formation. It was a timeout, and he came out in the same formation. He also knows he showed on film. He gives that to McFarland, mixes it up, gives it to Tayon Fleet Davis on the inside zone, touchdown.
And a flag on the extra point attempt.
False start, kicking team number 70. 5-yard penalty, redo the try.
That's Sean Christie, whistle for the penalty. So they'll back it up for the freshman, Joseph Petrino. Point attempt is up and no good. His first miss of his career. He had been perfect for field goals and perfect for point after attempts. And we have another flag.
And this is a big point after attempt. This is the difference between a 1-possession game and a 2-possession game. 8 points to 9 points.
After the play is over, unsportsmanlike conduct, kicking team number 36. Penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. That's number 36's first unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
That's your snapper, Matt Oliveira. Maryland Terps 19-3 when rushing for over 200 yards since joining the Big Ten, and today they have reached that mark once again.
And what's been different about it is they haven't quite had the big plays, the explosive plays they usually had. They've had 10-yard, 15-yard, 5-yard chunks. They will move the ball offensively, but still only 12 points.
Short kicks, that's Brookins again fielding the play for Indiana. That last drive led by Terrell Pigram, really almost the entire 75 yards, went 10 plays for 5 minutes. And a flag again on this kickoff.
Sideline warning against the Indiana bench. That's their first.
The crowd didn't like that call.
There's some, I don't want to say good bad blood, but There was a hit last year on Peyton Ramsey. Ramsey wears a knee brace now on his leg, and it's from this hit by Quantrez Knight. Right there. And Ramsey went out. That game was replaced with Richard Lego, and Tom Allen was not happy about that. And he said, we had seen some of that stuff on film, and they've been kind of chippy today.
You asked Tom Allen about that play. The pass is complete to Timian. And Tom Allen had said, I didn't bring it up once this week to Peyton Ramsey.
Didn't bring it up once, but you can see just by the extracurricular activity, some of the penalties, some of the hits laid out of bounds, there's some chippiness out there between these two teams.
Pass is tipped and intercepted. Give him another one for Trey Watson. His 5th pick of the year.
Between T.J. Edwards at Wisconsin and Trey Watson, those guys are linebacker interception machines, and really a mistake here by Ramsey. The ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Off the deflection, Watson, let's watch right here. It was tipped there, I believe, by McLean. Adam McLean got his paw on there. He was under pressure, though, from Mbitani. And under duress, tipped by McLean, picked off by Watson.
Well, as good as Indiana is in turning over teams, Maryland is right up there, too. In fact, they are 1-2 in the Big Ten.
Their 17th interception of the season. That's impressive.
Indiana was able to make good on one of its takeaways. Here's Maryland's turn. And it's Pigram with a really nice fake. Trying to get to midfield. Jonathan Crawford meeting him at the 50. A gain of 5 for Pigram. As you had said in the last series, it's almost like this backup QB for Maryland lit a little bit of fire under this Maryland offense.
Well, it's a tough read, too, for the linebackers. You see the lineman pulling on the fake to McFarland, so they'll try to go after McFarland. Out the back door comes Pigram. It's a tough read that's a rule breaker for linebackers. They're taught to follow poles. They follow the pole, and Pigram comes out the back door.
Pigram to throw. Passes complete to Demas. And he's got a first down. A gain of 14.
Trey Watson, a linebacker, leading the Big Ten in interceptions. And second is Darnell Savage.
McFarland with a big gain. And another Terp first down. This offense keeps rolling. Starting quarterback for Maryland, Kasim Hill, has been ushered into the locker room as we are just about a minute and a half away from halftime. Pigram, hesitation. Tackle is made by Thomas Allen.
And that's really the element that Pigram brings is the quarterback run. He looks to run the football, but he's looked patient and comfortable in the pocket. When he hit Demas on that slant route, his feet weren't happy, very steady.
To McFarland. And the clock keeps ticking on this Maryland drive. Our Discover halftime report coming up from Chicago. We'll talk to Mike Hall and Stanley Jackson and Chuck Long. Again, a busy day. All 14 teams playing the final 3 Saturdays, the final 3 weekends of the regular season.
Interesting situations. 4th down, about 4th and 3. You've got about 40 seconds to play. You have 2 timeouts remaining. Do you call a timeout to talk about it? Your kicker just missed an extra point. He also banged a field goal off the goalpost. Hasn't been that accurate. You're down 2 scores. Do you go for the points now, or do you can see he's running the clock out, so it looks like he's going for the field goal. If you were going for the first down, you would probably call timeout now and call your best play.
About a 9-second differential. Play clock and then the game clock. Play clock, you're right.
Charge timeout, Maryland. Their second. This will be a 30-second timeout.
And there'll be 10 seconds left in this half. And so a 31-yard attempt. He's already made a 31-yarder and a 29-yarder on the day. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up for Petrino. And it is good. So he is perfect in terms of field goals in his career. The game today between Maryland and Indiana kind of following suit with the last couple of years. They've had to get to about 40 points to win in this series the last couple of seasons. 21-15 here. And the kick out to about the 30-yard line. Now it's Lloyd for Indiana. And the final play of the half. And another low kick. Tons of respect for these returners on both sides of the field. And again, it's Ricky Brookins fielding the kickoff.
And there's some extracurricular activity again.
And another late flag coming in.
It looked like Thomas Allen Jr. finished off a block, and a Terp went flying, and there was a flag that was thrown.
We've had very few clean kickoffs here this afternoon. Mike Cannon is the referee here this afternoon.
After the play's over, unsportsmanlike conduct, receiving team number 44, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. As number 44's first unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
You called it, Jay. That is Thomas Allen, who's been in the mix of it a little bit on these kickoffs.
Yeah, and you wonder if his dad, head coach Tom Allen, is going to go have a word with his son about what happened. Talking to the official, rather. We'll watch it right here. 44 circled right there. Watch him. He's going to finish off the block here. So the play's down, and he comes off his block and just hits somebody else while Brookins is down. That is unsportsmanlike conduct. That's a good call right there as they're discussing what actually happened.
Tom Allen has talked about the delicacy it is being the father when your son is on the team. Indiana hands it off. There's a flag on the play. As of right now, Stevie Scott with a first down, but this one most likely will come back.
Yeah, it looked like 91 Adam McLean got held at the point of attack. If you ever have the point of attack coming at you, you cannot hold.
Holding, offense number 50. Half the distance to the goal, repeat first down.
That is Nick Linder, your center. A transfer out of the University of Miami.
So watch Linder working on McLean right here. And you see McLean does a swim move right over him and gets into that A gap. Stevie Scott able to make a run, but because of the hold by Linder, you know, Linder's a guy that's beat out Hunter Littlejohn. Hunter Littlejohn was playing earlier in the year. Linder's a guy who transferred from Miami, like you said.
And now a couple of penalties here to start this second half on this drive for Indiana. The ball on the 9-yard line. On 1st and 20, they go Stevie Scott's way, and Trey Watson making the play.
You know, screen and drawdowns, and whenever they bring in number 2, Reese Taylor, you've got to be alert for him. He's going to be the receiver at the top of your screen. Such a dynamic athlete.
Well, they recruited him as an athlete. He's on the jet sweep. They hand it to Scott instead. And don't forget, right now, Reese Taylor is your backup quarterback with Indiana with Michael Penix getting injured, a season-ending injury. And you had asked Mike DeBoard, well, you know, what's the future of Reese Taylor? Well, his future, he says, is as an athlete.
Yes, they don't see him as a quarterback. They see him as an athlete that could play cornerback, that could play receiver.
Flags on the play. As across the middle and over the top, pass is complete to Luke Timian.
Was that Peyton Ramsey or Aaron Rodgers? Got the jump on the offsides. Was a free play, able to take a shot down the field. Ramsey's done this a couple times. He had a touchdown pass earlier in the year.
Offside, defense number 90. Penalties declined. Result of the play, first down.
And a gain of 24 on the play.
So he has the hard count. It's offsides. Now he knows he's got a free play, and watch him wing it over the field to find one of his favorite third down targets, Timian, and throws it into a tight window because he knows if it's intercepted, it's still a penalty against the Terps.
I don't know if it's Aaron Rodgers. He's named after Peyton Manning. And the pass is complete there to Scott. Jessiana Bonham making the play. One of the redshirt seniors on this Maryland defense. A guy who has played for 3 coaches, Randy Etzel, DJ Durkin, Matt Canada.
You know, they faked that jet sweep earlier with Reese Taylor. They might run it right here as he's in motion.
There goes number 2. Ramsey keeps it. Another flag on the play, a fumble, and recovered by Scott. They were lucky.
Fumble on the play, recovered by 21 Scott. There is a flag.
But a flag on the far side.
So they try to sort out what actually happened.
Illegal formation, offense, more than 4 men in the backfield. Penalties decline. 3rd down.
So a heavy penalized drive to start out this second half.
Whistles on the field.
Charge timeout. Maryland, they're first. This will be a full media timeout.
So Matt Canada calling an early timeout on 3rd and 11. They didn't keep the ball for very long, but their second quarter drives were awfully effective, scoring on 3 of the 4. And now they're facing a 3rd and 11 opportunity. What do you call Jay Lehman?
Love Westbrook into the boundary, atop your screen.
They find Taylor. They call number 2's number there on 3rd down. And a gain of 7.
When you get to your playmaker, but whenever you have 4 receivers out to one side, you also bring 4 defenders over there. Lots of traffic to get through for Reese Taylor. And it looks like this could be a possible go for it on 4th down.
It's 4th and 3.
Got to watch out for the hard count.
Ramsey's going to run with it. He's got a 1st down across the 40. The gambling paying off.
4th down, have to be alert for quarterback run, quarterback scramble. Ramsey, smart, heady player, had pressure in his face, simply stepped up, got the 1st down, slid down.
A gain of 11. Ramsey with a handoff to Stevie Scott.
See pressure come from his right side, right in his face. Steps over to his left. Looks like Brooks brought some of the pressure off the edge, but left an opening for him to scramble out.
Ramsey back to throw, going Hale's way one more time. It was off his hands, a penalty is thrown. Rayvon Davis again getting tested.
And I thought Westbrook had a step on Tino Ellis, but that's not the matchup that Ramsey wants. Ramsey wants Hale on Rayvon Davis. It's been fruitful for him today.
Pass interference. Defense number 2. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic 1st down.
It's his second or 3rd big pass interference. You can see Hale uses a little bit of arms, though. And I'll tell you what, Hale could have come down with that football. It hits him in the chest, or the face mask, rather. And, you know, I think that's the least obvious of all the penalties right there. I mean, there's on Rayvon Davis.
Davis is a guy who took the starting spot of Marcus Lewis, who now this week decided to transfer away from the Maryland program. Ramsey sizing it up, going end zone. A flag is thrown. Touchdown. Complete to Nick Westbrook.
Talk about a guy battling to stay in bounds with Ellis pushing him out of bounds. Westbrook able to keep his feet in for a touchdown. Unbelievable body control, strength, and hands. And a nice ball by Ramsey to put it in that tight window.
Pass interference, defense number 7. The ruling on the field was a touchdown. The play is under further review.
That's Tino Ellis. So they're picking on the corners.
Yep, it's on Ellis. You can see he's got a handful of jersey right there and really pushes Westbrook. Wow. The question is his right foot out when he catches that football? Where is his right foot at right now? Is it on the white? Is his front foot on the white? Because he does drag his left foot. But if his right foot's out of bounds, then it shouldn't be a catch. This will give us a good look right here. Oh, wow.
We're flirting with the shadows here in the back of the end zone. And for the second time today, let's bring in Dick Honig. Dick, what do you see with his foot?
Let's look at the right foot first. If the heel comes down and then the toe follows and that toe is out of bounds, that is out of bounds. Okay, let's clarify that. Now the question is, did he drag the left foot as he made possession of the ball? Boy, because of the shadowing of the in the situation, it is very difficult to see.
Now, Dick, even if his right foot's down in bounds and not at all in the white, his toes in the crimson-colored end zone, it doesn't really matter what his left foot does, correct?
That is correct. Yes, sir, Jay.
Because he has control when that right foot hits.
I don't think.
But if his right is his right toe out of bounds, then he's out, even though that heel hits first.
That is correct.
He's got a white shoe on a white sideline. That makes it hard.
In the shadows, too.
In the shadows.
Yeah.
I just don't know if you see enough there to overturn that, Dick.
No.
Again, the call on the field is a touchdown.
Indisputable video evidence. That's your key, and that's very difficult right now.
Dick, when did the heel-to-toe rule come into play in college football?
They've had that for a couple of years. It can be toe-heel or heel-toe. That's as opposed to a toe tap. It's when you have a simultaneous hit of a heel and a toe, or a toe and a heel. So that's been a couple of years as part of inbounds.
Here's the decision from Mike
After
Cannon.
review, the call on the field stands. Touchdown. The penalty for pass interference is declined.
So not enough video evidence to overturn the call on the field. And now a couple of scorers here with this lead for Indiana as Logan Justice lines up for the extra point.
Critical call on that fourth down to go for it, which led to that touchdown.
And the extra point is up and good. And by the way, a highly penalized drive there for that Indiana offense. They overcome that to take the 28-15 advantage on the Nick Westbrook touchdown. Our replay official Jim Kemmerling taking this look. It had nothing to do with that foot that was dragging, the left foot. It had everything to do with the right foot. And the shadows really the determining factor. They couldn't overturn the call on the field.
Yeah, you have the white shoe, the white sideline, and the lack of light due to the shadows. And tremendous catch by Westbrook. Just not enough to overturn it. But what an effort by Westbrook. While being interfered, the hand was in between his hands. Tino Ellis' hands were in between his hands, and Westbrook would make a big play.
His third touchdown of the year, leads this team in reception yards, 340 coming into today. And another short kick being fielded by Noah Barnes. These returners not getting any chances this afternoon.
They're just too dangerous. You see Ty Johnson strapping on the helmets. Good to see him. Looks like he's ready to go back in the game after he was out earlier in the game.
Yeah, he
see what he's done.
He left the first quarter, but you see that in career all-purpose yards, where he stands in program history, trying to catch Lamont Jordan, that's going to be tough.
All those guys had great NFL careers. Torrey Smith, Stephon Diggs still tearing it up. Lamont Jordan.
Well, coming into this game, Ty Johnson was dealing with that calf injury, kept him out of last week against Michigan State, and he had to leave early in the first. Did start this game for the Terps. And a handoff there to McFarland, who's adding on to his 100-yard rush day. He's got a first down for Maryland.
You know, he had career highs in carries and yards in the first half. 16 carries, 135 yards. You talk about Johnny Jordan. You talk about Brendan Moore, the way they're able to pull outside to the edge, that offensive line, and get there. Sean Christie as well. Those guys able to pave the way for a guy like McFarland to get him out in the open field.
A gain of 15 on that play. And McFarland with 4 100-yard rush games this season. He's the only Maryland freshman to have that tally. He did have back-to-back 100-yard rush games against Temple and Minnesota. And now he kind of places his name in a little bit of history in terms of Maryland rookies.
You got to wonder what Tyrell Pigram adds to the run game as well, because he can run the football now, and now you've got to really address the quarterback run. And is that going to open up the ball more, the lanes more for these stable of running backs?
Into McFarland. Patient, crossing the 50, and he'll get chased out of bounds. And again, Christie and Jordan with key blocks on that play. It's not just the stable of running backs, as Tom Allen has said. Every single one who's a ball carrier seems to be so fast. In fact, these guys are some of the fastest that they have seen.
Maryland's got elite speed. I know the record is 5-4, but this team has offensive weapons that rival a lot of football teams in the top 25.
Pigram to throw. And completes it to Tayon Fleet Davis. They can use him in several different positions in the backfield, in the wing position, in the jet sweep position. In fact, to prepare for this, Tom Allen even went back to 2016 when Matt Canada was an offensive coordinator with those Pittsburgh teams. He had enough time during this bye week to try to prepare for this kind of unique offense that Canada runs. A heavy dose of McFarland, but not that time, not going anywhere. Alfred Bryant. And Indiana's got the football.
Turnover so critical in the first half, and here McFarland coughs it up. Such a special. Let's take a close look what actually happens here. And is the ball out before? The ball is definitely out before he hits. And that's a fumble on McFarland.
Alfred Bryant forced it and recovered it. The redshirt freshman.
It's intentional on the strip as well. Able to bottle him up, wrap him up, strip the ball, recover it. Good play for a freshman, Alfred Bryant.
Third takeaway here for Indiana. 22 forced turnovers. Stevie Scott with the carry.
Well, one thing we haven't mentioned is this Maryland defense is actually 4th in total defense in the conference. So for Indiana to have 28 points against this Maryland defense has been impressive by their offense, but a lot of it's been predicated off of turnovers.
Quick drives and effective drives, and that was right on the money, but right off the hands of Peyton Hendershot.
A second drop of the ball game. Hendershot's a guy they're high on. Heavily recruited. You can see Ramsey on the numbers, and Cardinals send. You look and try to run before you catch the football.
As an Indiana kid, they had to beat out Penn State. to bring Hendershot to Bloomington. Now it's late for the Hoosiers. Trips to the left. Ramsey's going right. Again to Hale. Isolated, makes the grab, and a big gain. Beating Rashad Lewis. Hale's having himself a day.
Same exact play we saw in the first half. They used motion, put Freifogel across the field. That brought the safety over. And then leave one-on-one with Hale, and Hale has won that matchup all day, either catching the ball or drawing a pass interference.
He's been a pleasant surprise this year. Ramsey hands it off to Scott.
So he used the motion, vacates the safety to the center of the field, and Donovan Hale battle. This is Rashad Lewis he's on. And again, he's able to make those contested catches. That's what Simi Cobbs had done the year prior. So good on the 50-50 balls.
Hale is 8 yards away from a 100-yard reception day. And the slant, looking for the flags. He got a couple of them. Headed towards Mike Majette's way.
Yeah, Isaiah Davis knew he was beat by Mike Majette coming out of the backfield. Good play call by DeBoer, just grabbed him. It's either going to be a defensive holding or a pass interference on Isaiah Davis.
Pass interference, defense number 22. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul, automatic first down.
A lot of times when a running back like Majette runs vertical on you, it surprises you because they do so many out routes. He just grabs him, just an outright grabs him. Knows it's going to be a touchdown if he doesn't, so he decides to take the penalty. Hopefully they don't see it, he thinks.
He's caught 18 balls this year, Majette has. 1 receiving touchdown. And a couple of tight ends here for Indiana on this formation, Doris and Hendershot. This is Stevie Scott territory. He runs right into Antoine Brooks. Nickelback, as you had said, plays like a linebacker. Nice look at Memorial Stadium with the sun out on this noon kick. Even with the frigid temps, it's bearable football here in November. Jay Lehman, Lisa Byington with you. Indiana in a great position, trying to capitalize on yet another defensive turnover.
It's been the story. The 3 turnovers, one by Tayon Fleet-Davis, one by Kasim Hill earlier, and then we saw this one by McFarland. And this could be the 3rd touchdown off turnovers today.
He's rolling out. And floats it. Complete. Again intended for Nick Westbrook.
Ramsey ran out of real estate right there. And when they've been in trouble or needed a play, they've usually got a one-on-one matchup with their receivers. They're going to bring Donovan Hale into the game. And they've loved the matchup, just the jump ball to throw it up to Hale to either draw the pass interference or get the completion.
He's a big receiver, 6'4", 229.
Westbrook's on the opposite end, into the boundary. Probably an easier throw for Ramsey.
And of course, Scott in the backfield. Ramsey looking right, and he was looking Hale's way once again. Quarterback pressure being applied, though, by Trey Watson, making it tough.
Yeah, they brought the motion from Freifogel over to isolate, but he ran the slant route because he was so far away from Ramsey, it'd be tough to throw the fade route. But the linebacker came over and helped. Good adjustment there by Maryland.
A 24-yard attempt for Logan Justice. Lefty foot is up, and it is good for Indiana. They continue to add to their advantage. How about another short kick? That fielded just at about the 27-yard line. Look out, big play production by Javon Leak. And that's exactly why they've tried to avoid him all afternoon long.
Absolutely, and a late flag comes in on this one as well. Way back at the 48-yard line.
Leak had a kick return against Illinois, took it back 97 yards. He was bound and determined to step up and field that one.
Leak so explosive. Ty Johnson so explosive. The kick coverage has been suspect. The kicking has been suspect. The penalties on kickoffs have been suspect.
There is no penalty for sideline interference. He ran into a player who was on the play.
And so one more look at it here on the sideline.
Leak went all the way over the sideline on the shallow kick to get it, then breaks it back inside, then back outside. So explosive. It would have been sideline interference if a player from the sideline had gotten in the way, but that play was all over the place. Even the referees were confused on who was in the game and who was out of the game. No flag on the play.
You mentioned the Big Ten Offensive and Special Teams Player of the Week honoree after that game against Illinois. It's Pigram back to throw. It's off the hands of Tavon Jacobs. 46-yard return has set up Maryland in its best field position to start a drive here this afternoon.
And for Pigram, they set that play up exactly for Tavon Jacobs. It was a one-man route concept. Pigram puts on the money. They've got 2nd and 10. You got to bounce back.
Leak stays in, takes the handoff. Leak, the right side, and he's in for the touchdown. Javon Leak, that whole drive was number 20.
That just looked like a waltz. There wasn't anyone on the right side of the offensive line for the Hoosiers, the defensive left, and Leak doesn't even have to put on the afterburners. Watch this. There is just nobody here. Brian Fitzgerald gets owned by Brendan Moore, and he looks around and says, where am I? Oh, I'm waltzing to the end zone. Leak didn't have many touches in the first half. He got 2 touches in the last 3 plays, one of them a kickoff, and makes the most of it.
His 6th touchdown of the year. And they're going for 2. It's Pigram. Connects with McFarland. And Maryland is not going away.
Take another look at Javon Leak's run. Take a look at it right here and just freeze it. I mean, there is no there. You see Brendan Moore's up on Brian Fitzgerald up at the top of the screen, but no other help. And watch how he's not even put on the afterburners. I think me and you could have run through that. I mean, it looked like he was just waltzing in, jogging in. I don't know if that was a misalignment by the defense or just a good play call. We've talked about it all year. Explosive plays for Maryland. When they're able to get explosive plays, and we saw 2 of them from Javon Leak.
Got a pretty good block, too, from his quarterback in Pigram, trying to set up that play. Well, again, this game following suit to what this series has been. They've had to get, the winner has had to get to 40 points the last couple of meetings. And Brookins with the pickup. He's had to field a lot of these kickoffs for Indiana this year.
Love that call. It's so legendary you remembered it. You don't remember many of my calls, but you remembered that.
Let's not get carried away. The last 2 years, though, had a lot of offense. 78 and 81 points. 159 total. The shovel pass is complete to Hendershot. No, incomplete.
You know, Antoine Brooks, so physical for a defensive back. is able to walk that tackle, Brandon Knight, back. There's probably a 100-pound differential. That made Ramsey step up in the pocket and dump it off. Brooks, such a bulldog when he plays out there.
Here's Walker. Brings up third down. Isaiah Davis back in for Maryland. They're cycling in backs here for Indiana, but Jet in this time.
Trying to show safety help toward Donovan Hale at the top of your screen. We'll see if that safety moves on the snap and what Ramsey does about it.
Indiana has 3 third down conversions in this game. To Hale, off the hands this time, not successful.
So they showed help. At the snap, the safety broke into the center of the field, so he went back to Hale, and that's a play that Hale's come down with this game. So he watches the safety, tries to give him a look off, comes back to Hale, and this time Tino Ellis able to bat it away.
And so Hayden Whitehead trots out to punt. Tavon Jacobs is back to receive. And Jacobs will let that one roll. That game got him to the NBA a little bit early. Taking the handoff. Should be no surprise that Javon Leake is out there with the drive that he had to cut this lead into a 1-score football game. That's a gain of 5.
You got a young player like McFarland and he fumbles. So what do? You put in Javon Leake because Ty Johnson has been banged up a little bit. So you put in Leake and Leake makes the most of it. Leake does that on the kickoff return of the touchdown. He said, "He'll give you some more carries." There is, like we've said, a stable of playmakers.
Player coming out of North Carolina, rushed from over 3,500 yards in high school. And they give it to Leake again. Javon Leake, when you talk about the stable of running backs, ball on the 40, a 1st and 10, Pigram. Getting challenged. Pass is complete to Tavon Jacobs. Damian Willis applying the quarterback pressure, but it's a gain of 6.
And this is where Anthony McFarland has to pick up his game. He's got to have a better block than that. Looked like Jacobs got his feet in. Good call by the officials.
Pigram fakes the throw and gets taken down. Pigram across the middle. It was off the hands of Demas. And Andre Brown there on the coverage. Brings up 4th down.
When you're running the football as well as they are, I find it hard to believe that you're going to throw the football. And Demas is there, Brown on the coverage, like you said. A quarterback run with Pigram. You got McFarland as well. It could have been 4-down territory. Elects to throw the football, and they just haven't had that much success throwing the football. You get in critical situations late in the 3rd quarter, down 8. Go to your bread and butter.
Just 74 passing yards for the game. Wade Lee's to punt. Jay-Sean Harris is back for Indiana. Fair catch call. Right at the 10. .42-yard punt for Wade Lees. And Peyton Ramsey and this Indiana offense will look to build on its lead. Again, later today, that Michigan-Rutgers game coming up, presented by Jaguar. Michigan Wolverines looking to stay perfect. The last time they went to Rutgers, they put up nearly 80 points against the Scarlet Knights. Stevie Scott takes the handoff. Trey Watson makes the tackle. Mention how good Stevie Scott is just as a freshman running back. Now has more touchdowns as a freshman than any other running back in Indiana history.
I see a lot of a guy I put against Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. Had the size, like Stevie Scott.
Here's Ramsey back to throw. Pass is complete to Nick Westbrook, and it's a first down for Indiana. Peyton Ramsey seems to have that composure, taking the time in the decision making. Again, he didn't take many reps in that bye week for Indiana a couple weeks ago. A lot of those reps for practice came to Reese Taylor. They're back up. There's Ramsey, a miscommunication there for that Indiana offense.
Yeah, he wanted Westbrook to go deep. Westbrook broke it off as a hitch route right at the sticks. So a miscommunication. I'll tell you what, Maryland really leaving their islands on a corner. You see the receiver up top, runs the hitch route. Ramsey thought to run the go route. Maryland has said, we're gonna try to stop this run. We're gonna load the box to stop Stevie Scott. We're gonna leave our DBs on an island.
A nice gain there for Stevie Scott. Isaiah Davis making the play for Maryland. And all the great running backs, a gain of 5. You mentioned Anthony Thompson, Ben Jarvis Green with some of the great freshman seasons that they've had. Indiana has had a good history of backs.
Timian, Jay-Sean Harris across the middle on third down. Always a favorite for the Hoosiers.
On 3rd and 5, Ramsey to throw it. Ramsey getting pressure, had to get rid of it, applied by Jesse Annabonum. And that brings up 4th down. Ramsey had no choice.
Well, Timian and Jay-Sean Harris run the crossing routes. You'll see the pressure up here right in his face, coming right here by Annabonum. And it was looking for Jay-Sean Harris, looking for Timian, and unable to complete the pass. There was good coverage on the back end as well.
Punt team is out. Tavon Jacobs to receive. A low punt. And they swarm Jacobs. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run. McFarland in motion. They hand off to Fleet Davis. And by the way, Javon Leake is not on the bench right now for Maryland. And again, you see all those pre-snap motions and shifts, something that Matt Canada has brought to the table and in his many, many stops as an offensive coordinator. And the handoff to McFarland. You know, one of those teams that he is known for in using multiple backs, that Wisconsin team with 2012 Big Ten champions.
Right, they had Monte Ball, they had James White, and they had Melvin Gordon III. Melvin Gordon had the coming out party on the jet sweep against Nebraska in that 2012 game, hit over 200 yards on 3 carries.
And you felt like that kind of catapulted the love affair, I guess, with the jet sweep.
Well, and it's in almost everybody's offensive package now because it allows you to attack the edge. It allows you to get the ball into your playmaker's hands. As you can see, McFarland gets a carry inside.
Caden Samuels is there making the stop.
Allows you to get playmakers on the outside. You'll see everybody has a package with it. You see Ohio State runs a fair amount of it. Michigan State runs it. We've seen Nebraska run it, and kind of the Oregon Chip Kelly tree of offenses run it. And we've seen Matt Canada take it at each stop he goes to.
He'll tell you, though, this offense is the simplest in the country. In fact, he said that he would sit down with you and I and teach it to us for 2 hours, and we'd have it.
We'll have it down pat. I don't know if we could execute it like these guys. These guys are pretty fast.
Crossing pattern, and passes complete to Tavon Jacobs. And it brings up third down. Jacobs just short of the first down marker. And that'll also be the final play of the third quarter. Part of the fourth quarter, 31-23, Indiana over Maryland. And injuries have been a situation here for Maryland, and there is Javon Lake without the helmet. He's traded the helmet in for the stocking cap.
Anytime you are wearing different apparel than what you need to be playing, we've seen with Kasim Hill and we've seen now with Javon Lake.
Read your keys, Jay.
That's what linebackers do. It's tight formation here.
Both of these teams looking to finish this off. Finishing has sometimes been an issue for both of these programs here this year. And on a third down play, Maryland says they got it.
I think they're just short. I think they're going to go for it. And as you said, finishing has been an issue for both teams. And it's not just about finishing a game, it's about finishing a season here. Bowl eligibility on the line.
Jake Funk, number 34, in for the first time for Maryland. He's at the top of your screen. McFarland has the first down and avoids getting tripped up. Bryant Fitzgerald missed the tackle.
We showed this in our opening comments. The defensive end almost able to make a play by shooting straight up the field. Right there, Bryant Fitzgerald, the safety, misses him. And then McFarland has the speed to get to the edge. Funk threw a good block.
I was just about to say.
Old Uptown.
His first play of the game, and really he hasn't played since that Texas game because of injury. He's been cleared to play. With Leak out, Funk is in. McFarland ran into one of his own players up the middle. Gain of 6 for the freshman.
If I'm Matt Canada, I keep it on the ground. Stay on schedule. That's your strength. Look at the rush yards today, 48 rushes, 334 yards.
Almost carried it 50 times. That's 49. James Head Jr. with the big tackle.
James Head, Bryant Fitzgerald, they've got some young freshmen in here that are going to be good football players.
Wanted to give some time to James Miller as well. Brings up third down, though. 3rd and 6 with the ball on the 17. What do you call, Jay?
I think this is still 4-down territory for you. I don't think your kicking game's been that great. I don't think you got to pick up the first right now. I give it to McFarland.
And flags all over the play.
False start, offense, number 7. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
It's Dante Demas, your freshman.
Yeah, he just twitches a little bit. Raheem Lane loves to point it out, and they wanted to give it. They were going to run the ball right there to McFarland. Not sure why he was so antsy to get off the ball. And now it changes the situation a little bit. Now you're going to expect probably that you're going to throw the football, unless you are saying I'm going to use 4 downs. But whenever you look at the alignment of McFarland, see how he's in front of Pigram? Usually that means he won't get the football, but he'll block or go up for a route.
9 penalties today for Maryland. As Pigram goes to the end zone, the catch is not made, incomplete. A valiant effort, though, for Demas. And Ashawn Riggins was there to make it tough.
Boy, I tell you what, Dante Demas climbed the ladder to go over top Riggins. High points the ball. Now look where his left foot comes down, out of bounds. It's a good ball by Pigram, though, giving Demas a chance to make a play on the football.
Here's Petrino. You see what he's done, 3 for 3. A 39-yard attempt, his longest is 40 for the year. Kick is up, and kick is good. So cutting into that Indiana lead with a field goal kick here today. Low kick again. And it's fielded by Marcelino Ball. Again, the respect to the returners all day here for both of these teams. We have a Javon Leak who's had some success. We have a Jay-Sean Harris, at least on punts, that's had some success in taking them back, but they're just not giving them anything.
But the trade-off is you start every drive at the 40 and give everybody a short field. So I'm not necessarily a fan of it, but they watch a lot more film than I do.
Stevie Scott right up the gut. And Scott, the freshman, taking it all the way across midfield, a gain of 22. Flea flicker. Ramsey's in trouble though. Maryland and Antoine Brooks were not fooled.
You knew something was up. There's two tight ends in the game. It wasn't a goal line situation. They never have two tight ends in the game. Something you say is 12 personnel. They brought him in for protection to give him extra protection. It doesn't work. Nobody's protecting anybody. You can see off the edge there, the Maryland defender is able to get home. Antoine Brooks, such a good blitzer.
Loss of 7 on the play. Up against it on 2nd and 17. Pass is complete to Timian. Luke Timian, who had missed 3 games this year, got injured in the Michigan State game. No touchdowns this year, by the way, the first year that he hasn't found the end zone. And another man down, that is Nick Linder, the center for Indiana.
It seems about every 3 or 4 plays we have a man down. It's really slowed down the game. It's unfortunate. You wonder how much the temperature plays into that. As far as guys being cold, maybe not as warmed up as they usually are.
Maryland's had about 5 players get tended to in this game. Some of them have returned, and again, if you're just joining us, Kasim Hill is out. Javon Leak is out. Ty Johnson is out for Maryland. Hunter Littlejohn now in at center for Indiana.
Expect pressure from Maryland. Every time they haven't brought pressure, Ramsey's picked them apart.
Majette is your back. Ramsey. And they get to him. Keyron Howard. A loss of 8 and a real tough go of it on that drive for this Indiana offense.
Well, they show pressure. There's confusion. Remember, your starting center's out for a play. Byron Carr actually brings the pressure at the feet of Ramsey, makes him step up, and then they're just a party. Just a 3-man rush, but there's confusion on who's actually coming, so they show pressure. Andy Boo. Good call by him.
Tavon Jacobs, fair catch call. Right at about the 12-yard line.
Stevie Scott's going to be a special football player.
Another freshman, Anthony McFarland, who takes the handoff there. He's having quite the game and quite the freshman season here for Maryland. Just surpassing over 700 yards for this season this year. Those names that we mentioned there for Indiana, each of the last 4 featured backs reached the NFL. Redding, Howard, Coleman, Houston. Too often that you see a pair of freshman running backs have the success that they've had that we see here today. On the jet sweep, it's Jones, and the tackle is made, Raheem Lane.
Good tackle by Raheem Lane in space on Jay-Sean Jones. You know, Lane has split time with Ashawn Riggins and also Andre Brown. 3 players to play 2 positions. You're talking about that running back tradition. Doesn't have one with that offensive line play. You know, Dan Feeney, tremendous player playing for the San Diego Chargers. Jordan Spriggs, Roger Saffold, 10-year vet.
Some of the more successful pros, in the NFL for Indiana are on the offensive line. Under 9 to play in this game. On 3rd and 6, Pigram across the middle. And passes complete to Dante Demas. He's looked number 7's way on a couple third down opportunities. That was a gain of 12.
Dante Demas, such a big body, 6'4", 202. Look at the patience, steps up, throws a strike. Demas working on Lane. And Dante Demas is a guy you got to be high on. You just don't find guys with frames like that can run like that. 6'4", 202. Made a tremendous catch at the corner that was out of bounds. Pigram, been accurate.
Oh, DJ Turner in this game for Maryland. He's out with an injury. Missing his 4th game this year. Hand off to McFarland, who has some success cutting that edge. All right, at the first down marker. They're giving him a first down.
It always seems like McFarland is able to get his feet up and over a would-be arm tackle. Watch him right here. Cuts back against the grain. Always gets his feet up and over the tackle of Raheem Lane. And then Brian Fitzgerald has to finish off. I'm telling you what, McFarland is a special player. This is just a freshman. Offers from Alabama, from other big-time schools. Chose to come to Maryland and stay home. Product of DeMatha Prep.
They go to McFarland again. A 200-yard rush day. Dynamic is the way Matt Canada describes him. And he is having a dynamic output. Breaking all kinds of Maryland freshman records on this afternoon.
We had a chance to watch film yesterday at Maryland. And it looks like some of the running backs are going different speeds than the entire other 21 guys on the field. They have that much speed at that position.
On the day. Not going to get much more than 206 on that play, though. Indiana defense and Thomas Allen pushing them back.
When Maryland's pulling now, you're going to see the linebackers just shooting up. Thomas Allen and TD Roof shot up to hit those linemen at the point of attack, and that's when the play action and the quarterback run counter come into play. Matt Canada sees the same thing we're seeing, and this is possible 4-down territory in this area with, 6 minutes and some change left. Got to be aware of it.
Got a big third down here, 3rd and 4. Pigram pass complete, first down, and more. Off and running to the races. It's Dante Demas, a huge play. 3rd down conversion for the Terps.
Last 2 third downs been the exact same play. The 10-yard dig route to Dante Demas. Such a big target, and it's an easy pitch and catch for Pigram, working on Raheem Lane, who tried to jam him at the line of scrimmage, but got beat off the line of scrimmage, and then he's got to hustle with the angle to make a touchdown-saving tackle.
51-yard gain for Maryland. Again, the Terps with a win. They come into today a 5-4 overall record. A win today would make them bowl eligible.
Dante Demas showing some speed for the size that he has. Outruns Crawford's angle. Lane able to run him down, and a critical goal line setting here. They love this formation for either McFarland on the sweeper, Davis on the inside zone.
They were going to hand to McFarland. A little miscommunication. We got a flag on the play. McFarland and Pigram couldn't connect on the jet sweep.
Holding. Offense, number 55. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, 2nd down.
Your left tackle, Derwin Gray.
Hey, if you're Matt Canada, the lack of execution down here has just been debilitating. They've just not done well when inside the 10. He wanted to hand that ball off to McFarland. And if he does, it's probably a touchdown. They're probably not going to call a hold on Gray.
Most highly penalized team in the Big Ten.
So now you got to pick up some more yards. You've got 2 more plays. You're kind of in a pass set right here. Do you look for Dante Demas again or Jayshon Jones all alone at the bottom of your screen?
goes outside and connects with Jones. Touchdown. He worked it. The play was not dead, and Jay-Sean Jones made it happen. Maryland takes the lead on that extra effort.
What a tremendous effort by Jay-Sean Jones. People think he's dead to rights, but he's able to tiptoe through the tackle of Andre Brown and TD Roof and get the ball across on the pylon. This is a great shot right here. And he never steps in the white, from what I can tell. And it's just the lack of finishing a tackle by Roof and Andre Brown.
We're going to look at this as we bring in our rules analyst, Dick Honig.
Jay,
your perspective, Dick.
Jay, you had it right. There's no foot out of bounds in this. It's an interesting play because it looks like he's going out of bounds, yet he keeps his momentum. And all he has to do is touch that pylon with the ball, and you've got a touchdown.
It looks like Andre Brown kind of gave up 14 on the play, and, you know, Bryant Fitzgerald tries to make a play late on it. And this isn't a case where you're laying off a quarterback because you think, you know, I don't want to get a penalty. This is just, I think, not finishing a tackle.
We brought up finishing at the start of the quarter. That's just not talking about finishing plays or finishing games, but it's finishing plays. And you saw Matt Canada, he's going to go for 2 if this call stands or is confirmed. Right now, a 9-play, 88-yard drive. 5 minutes and 20 seconds here for Maryland. The Terps, with everything that they've gone through in this season, with the death of Jordan McNair, the firing of their head coach, DJ Durkin, Matt Canada and this crew right now in position to become bowl eligible with a win here today against Indiana.
Resilient.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
You know, you talk about the resiliency of this football team. They also lost their starting quarterback today. They lost Ty Johnson, at least we think, for the day. He's dressed, but we haven't seen much of him since he got hurt. And Tyrell Pigram, can you say enough about him leading this football team? He's been a more accurate thrower than Kasim Hill was during this game.
He's the backup this year, but he's been a starter in years past here for Maryland. And again, the Terps going for the 2-point conversion. Tayon Fleet Davis takes the handoff, tries to muscle his way toward the goal line. He won't get there. So it's a 1-point edge here for Maryland, and Indiana defense coming up with a big play.
Matt Canada frustrated.
Under 5 minutes to play. Back and forth. We thought this might be a good one. We thought it would be high scoring, and so far it has lived up to all of those expectations. To the 40-yard line. Marcelino Ball. Making the right play, presented by Rocket Mortgage, by Quicken Loans. Again, a look at the touchdown.
Yeah, Jay-Sean Jones, the strength does not only stay in bounds, but get to the end zone. Simply a lack of effort, it seemed like, from the defenders. And Pigram is excited as Jay-Sean Jones with the go-ahead TD.
Peyton Ramsey does not have a game-winning drive. He hands off to Scott. That got this crowd alive. Stevie Scott.
And Stevie Scott's close to 100 yards now with that rush. His last 2 runs been impressive. Finally got him some room to run. And this is when the tempo really picks up after a first down play.
27 on that play. Again to Scott. Right at the 30-yard line.
21, Stevie Scott's on the carry.
Stevie Scott's first start was on this field against Virginia.
Ran for over 200 that game.
He did. He's over 100 yards, 101 here today. And they've needed a player to step up. Morgan Ellison suspended, then dismissed from the team. And Scott has been the go-to. And they're riding him here on this drive.
Just can't have a negative play here. You're in field goal range. You got a good kicker in Justice. You've got Jayshon Harris and Timmy and inside receivers on the crossing route for an easy third down pickup is usually the call that Mike DeBoer goes to. You've always got to beware of Peyton Ramsey running the football.
Hale and Timian at the bottom of your screen. Jayshon Harris there in motion. It's Majette here on third down. He tries to muscle his way. Gonna be just short. Byron Cowart with the big first down saving tackle.
You bring in Mike Majette on third down for protection, not to run the football. You have to wonder if Stevie Scott gets that carry. Does he have the strength to get the extra half yard for the first down? We'll never know. Now the clock's going to run out, and they're going to call a timeout probably and discuss what the next step is.
And with 2:37, they'll call the timeout. And 4th and 1, there's a look at Logan Justice.
So the college football coaching manual would probably say take the field goal and take the lead. The only problem is your defense hasn't been able to really stop Maryland when they haven't shot themselves in the foot. Now they can't throw the ball that well, although they had a big play to Dante Demas and Jayshon Jones as well. I personally think they're going to go for it. It looks like they're rallying the offensive line a bit. No, looks like they're going to take the points. Logan Justice trots out onto the field.
Justice has been good on a 23-yarder today. As long as a 44-yarder. This is a 42-yard attempt. Justice in Indiana for the lead. It's good. Hoosiers get it right back. Yeah, we got a good one here, Mike. Thank you very much. We look forward to that game with Michigan taking on Rutgers, looking to make another statement. Their defense has been one of the biggest stories for them this year, and beating a ranked Penn State team last week. Ohio State leading Michigan State continues to set up possibly that showdown in the final week of the regular season between the Wolverines and the Buckeyes. But here we have bowl eligibility possibly on the line. Maryland with a win will become bowl eligible. Indiana needs to win 2 of its next 3 games to get to 6. Tavon Jacobs feeling that kickoff.
They've missed some kicks. Petrino knocked in 1 field goal. And I said he missed a field goal, actually missed an extra point, but that extra point looms large.
A 2-point advantage here for Indiana. And they'll start this drive on the 17. McFarland's there in the backfield. He will take the handoff over a 200-yard rush day, setting a Maryland freshman record for today.
And you've got time to run the football. There's 2 timeouts left. Running the football is your bread and butter. A guy like McFarland has the ability to break it. I think you'll see some jet sweeps as well. You've got Jayshon Jones who can run the football. Weapons all over the field. All you need is a field goal.
A gain of 8. Pigram. And passes complete to Jones. Tyrone Pigram coming in relief duty as Kasim Hill, the quarterback, the starter here for Maryland, knocked out of this game because of an injury. Watching in street clothes, Maryland has outscored Indiana 26-13 since he's entered the game.
Looks poised, doesn't look panicked at all. Experienced football player, obviously not the first time he's been in the game. 2016 got some good time. Obviously started the season opener against Texas in 2017.
Could he lead them to a go-ahead game-winning drive? Pigram running out of trouble, flips it over for no gain to McFarland.
And he should just throw the football away. You know, Marcelino Ball had Pigram dead to rights. The blitz came off the edge. Good call by Tom Allen. And because Pigram tried to make a completion to McFarland, they're forced to burn a timeout. Watch this play. Watch Marcelino Ball. Just has Pigram's dead to rights. Just misses him, whiffs on him. And then Pigram pitches to McFarland. McFarland slips down, forced to burn a timeout.
It's a loss of 5 on the play. And a timeout here for Maryland, which means they have 1 timeout left. The road to eligibility, though, they become bowl eligible with a win against Indiana here today. And if they can't do it today, they got to take on a top 10 ranked Ohio State team and a top 20 ranked Penn State team to try to do it.
If you're going to get a win, it's obvious to see that today's probably your best chance. And the route they've really liked a lot is Dante Demas at the bottom of your screen, that 10-yard in route.
Pigram again decides to move with it, connects with Demas. Demas missing off a couple of tackles. And Jerome Johnson finally dragging him down, but a big first down here for the Terps and a gain of 21.
He has Demas open early on the 10-yard dig route. The route that he ran, a nice play. Watch, Demas is going to come into your screen right here. He's open, but he's flushed out of the pocket, then comes back to Demas, throws it on his back shoulder to keep it away from Andre Brown.
This time Indiana wants to talk about it, calls the timeout. Dante Demas, by the way, coming into this game had 5 catches for the season. He's got 4 in this game. What do they see about that matchup that they like with him?
Like size. He's 202, 6'4", and he's been matched up either on Andre Brown or Raheem Lane. Now, Raheem Lane, he's got some length to him, 6'1", but Andre Brown just a 6-footer, so there's a 4-inch differential there. He's a big-bodied guy as well.
We welcome in the audience from Nebraska and Illinois. We've got a good one here down the stretch. Jay Lehman, Lisa Byington with you, 34-2. Maryland's trailing but driving. Tyrell Pigram, the backup quarterback, is in for Maryland, and he's scrambling there across the 50.
Again, you want to get out of bounds if you're Tyrell Pigram. Work to get to the sideline. You've still got a timeout, but time is of the essence. And I actually thought they would run the football there with McFarland, but they did not.
1 timeout left for both Indiana and Maryland.
Watch for Jayshon Jones out route, bottom of your screen.
Pigram is looking to his left. He's in trouble. Ball is loose. Indiana pounces on it. Hoosier takeaways have been the headline, and they got the big one there. 52 seconds to play. Niall Sykes pouncing on it on midfield.
Tyrell Pigram has played lights out the entire game in relief of Kasim Hill, and it was the pressure right here. The defensive line got it, was able to strip it out. Let's look at this pressure right here. It was number 52, Caton Samuels, with a huge play.
The 4th turnover that Indiana has forced today. That's coming off a game against Minnesota, where they forced 4 turnovers, the 3rd game this year that they have done that.
Maryland miscues we talked about, none bigger than that. Not going to be able to get the ball back. Indiana's going to be able to take a knee. And if you're Tom Allen, you knew you had to win this game.
Here comes the Indiana offense one more time.
We talked about Indiana finishing as we see Maryland burn their final timeout. Talked about Indiana finishing. They're able to finish, and really came down to their trigger man, Peyton Ramsey. Guy that was accurate, was decisive, showed some shake. This was the first touchdown of the game where he showed his athleticism, his ability to make people miss in a phone booth. He did just that. The dimes he dropped to Donovan Hale. The pass he hit to Nick Westbrook. What an effort by Westbrook. And the clock will tick down, and 6-second differential in game clock to play clock. There's the numbers for Ramsey.
He'll take the knee. Indiana will improve to 500 overall. Snap a 4-game losing skid and get a much-needed win and stay alive in terms of trying to chase bowl eligibility for this season. And the handshake between the two Indiana guys, Matt Canada and Tom Allen, who have known each other. When Tom Allen was a high school coach, Matt Canada was a coach here at Indiana. 34-32 is the final.